is your American dream?
My American dream is to have a family and to just live a successful life, in abundance, and to give back as well to the community and society that I live in.
My American dream at the moment is just to raise a family and be happy.
My American dream is pretty simple: peace and justice for all.
I'm from Russia. I don't live in America, but my American dream is peace around the world, peace between countries.
My American dream is that everyone has freedom of a lot of different things. Freedom of speech, freedom to get wherever they're trying to accomplish in life, their dreams, their goals. Every dream that Americans have is something that's tangible and something that can be accomplished.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, everybody. It's Brad Show Live. My name is Brad Bernstein. Today is Tuesday, September 15th. We made a prayer earlier as an entire crew to the God of all TriCasters not to shut off in the middle of the show. We believe our prayers have been answered. We will hope. The gods were not good to us on Monday. They were not good to us on Friday, the gods of the TriCaster. But I believe our prayers will come through today. I believe we have our problems fixed. We will have a live show without any technical difficulties, but I can't do it all alone because I got Yo-Yo, Yonathan, Elias, and Ness-quick, Vanessa, Contreras. How are you guys? How are you? How are you? And by the way, if I didn't ask, how are you?
Great.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
I can feel it. All the vibes. You just gave us all the energy for a smooth show. I'm projecting it. I see it.
I was walking, Jill is very, very religious, woman. So I was, walking down the hallway to come into the studio. She goes, Brad, can we please make a prayer for the TriCaster that it doesn't shut off today? We had all the technical people come in from New Jersey. We had technical people come in from New Jersey to look at all of this stuff. And at the end of the day, they said, yeah, I'm not sure. But that was basically it after 7 hours. But they said if we make a prayer to the TriCaster, it will be okay. So Jill and I made a prayer while Julian, the TriCaster guy, lit a candle and incense all around this machine. And I said, Julian,
you guys just saged down the TriCaster.
And I said, Julian, is that
is
that safe to be lighting these candles and incense so close to all of this heavy machinery? He said, yeah, don't worry, I do it all the time. So I'm like, all right,
it had to be done.
He does it all the time.
He does it all the time. That's what he said to me. All right, Yo-Yo, how was your day, by the way?
It must smell really good in there, though.
It does smell. It smells fabulous, by the way. Much better than Julian generally smells, So it's a nice incense smell. So I wish he would. All right, I will not insult Julian, the TriCaster guy, anymore. He always smells good. By the way, that is fake news. Julian always smells good. He's never actually had any. He's never had any BO at all. None whatsoever. All fake news. All fake news. It's actually true. I'm actually making that up. He smells fine all the time. I've never had him. Never walked by him and go, ooh. Never. Always good. Always good.
You're digging yourself deeper and deeper,
I know, and
Brad.
I'm trying to give the guy a compliment, and it's just coming out bad, isn't it?
Just leave it.
Just leave it, right? Let's say hello to the squad. All right.
Say hi to the
Deion Watson, squad up. Lisa Blake Rose, squad up. Carol Anderson, the Tiger, how are you? Deion Reed. Who else we got? Jessica Leamy, Christy Kinsali, squad up. Marcia Watson is watching, and who else we got here? Sherry Bushy Forster says, oh my God, squad up, peeps. It's been a while. Hi, Uncle Brad and his crew of crews. Where have you been, Sherry Bushy Forster? What's happened to you? Please fill us in on everything that's been going on in your life. Claudette Fisher, squad up. Ma Dukes is watching. Violet Blackwood, squad up. And Navneet Singh wants to know, what is the role of the National Benefit Center in well, you know what, Nav, you have a, we'll answer that later. We're going to answer your question later. Make sure we get Navneet Singh's question in. Lanray Bakari on YouTube, squad up. And Dee Dee, squad up. Sweet Dot saying squad up, everybody. Keeks, squad up. Please give Uncle Brad a thumbs up. Is that a new squad member, Keeks? I don't recall ever saying hello to Keeks, but I like her.
how Keeks sings.
I like what she's saying. I assume it's a she. It could be a he. I like what Keeks is saying.
Right, thumbs up.
All right. I like actually every word in that sentence. Please give Uncle Brad a thumbs up. There is not a word in that sentence I didn't like, Yo-Yo and Vanessa. Why don't you expand or just expand on what Keeks is saying? Elaborate. That's a good word. Elaborate on what Keeks is saying.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Just like Keeks said, give us a likes up. You could do that on Facebook, and you could also do that on YouTube. But first things first, all platforms, all social media platforms, I need you all to please join the Facebook fan page. All right. All you have to do is go on Facebook and put in the search right here. It says it's join the Brad Squad. So put in Brad Squad and on the Facebook, and you will become a live member, a VIP member, and you get a lot of different incentives. But the main thing, just like you saw one person put in their question right away. If you can't do that right when the show starts, it's not a guarantee that you're going to get your questions answered. So all you have to do is join this fan page and put your question in anytime throughout the day. I went to the gym earlier, so say I was going to be late for the show. I know right before the gym, I'm going to put in my question in the VIP page, and I know that my question is going to get answered. So we're going to take the first 5 that put in their question anytime throughout the day, all right? Now, first things first, for Facebook, I need you guys all to please share. I need all that energy that Brad was giving to y'all. I want y'all to put it in your fingers by clicking the little phone. Or if you're on the laptop, I need you guys to click that little arrow. It says share, and you can share it to anybody's page. You can share it to the inbox. You can share it individually. You could copy the link and send it in a text message blast. That's always a great way to do it. If you don't know how to share, or if you don't really have too many Facebook friends, it's so easy, because I know every one of y'all have people that you talk to every day. If you talk to somebody earlier today with a text in texting, I need you to copy this link right now and send this to them, regardless of the fact if they gonna need it or not. At least send it to them and tell them to send it to anybody else who might need any help with any immigration issues. All right. Also, put all your questions and your comments in the comment section right now. We're gonna snooze real quick. So I want to know what you guys have to say about any of the stuff that we're talking about. Of course, we love the interaction. We love the emojis and the emotions that you guys click, the like, love, smiley face, sad face, wow face, mad face, whatever you're feeling, because I'm sure we're going to have some pretty trifling news that we talk about and schmooze like every day. So I want you guys to make sure you show that emotion as well. All right, Ness-quick, what are we doing on YouTube?
On YouTube, squad, if you haven't already, which you should, stop what you're doing and make sure that you subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you know when Brad Show is on live Monday through Friday. Of course, like Yo-Yo said, we love to hear your interactions. So please ask your questions in the comment box so that we can have a hold of them. The team in the back will grab them for social media check-in and our speed round at the end of the show, of course. Nonetheless, I'm taking a look at us right now, and I'm only seeing 28 thumbs up, and there's a lot more than 28 people on this stream right now. So if you could just take a look at that gray thumbs up and turn it blue, that lets YouTube know that there's a lot of value and knowledge here, and it helps our community grow. So that's something that you can do for us as well. Just give us a simple thumbs up if you love the information that we're giving you guys here. Brad is sharing so much information for free, helping so many people. So let's make sure that we also share. So right around that thumbs up, you'll see an arrow that says share. You click that. You can copy it, like Yo-Yo said, send it in a text message, send it to your WhatsApp group, share it on Facebook, share it in a direct message. Let people know that the show is on right now and that later on we will be getting answers to immigration questions. And you never know when there's someone out there that's dealing, with an open case or trying to figure it out or how to bring their family in or answer simple questions that Brad answers every day on here. They don't even know this show exists. So please, 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 squad, make sure that you share. Of course, we are also on Instagram at Brad Show Live. So make sure you follow us there, where you can also send your questions in as a direct message. Let's get the conversation going there as well. And if you don't have the chance to catch a full show, or maybe a friend or a family member doesn't have time to check out a full show, on our Instagram, you'll find the best snippets of our show. So make sure to follow us there so you don't miss out on any of that, as well as every now and again, there might be a contest, but you have to be following us on Instagram in order to have access to any of that. But without further ado, let's get into it. Schmoozing with Brad.
All right, Ness-quick. Today, September 15th, starts Hispanic Heritage Month. I guess it starts September 15th and ends October 14th.
Right,
So it
October.
it ends, it actually ends October 12th this year, I'm reading. Oh, it actually ends October 15th. I am correct. Each year, Americans observe National Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15th to October 15th. And we celebrate the histories of Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central and South America. The observation started in 1968 as Hispanic Heritage Week under President Lyndon Johnson, was expanded by President Ronald Reagan on August 17th, 1988 to cover a 30-day period. The day of September 15th today is very significant because it is the anniversary of independence for Latin American countries Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. In addition, Mexico and Chile celebrate their Independence Days on September 16th and September 18th, respectively. Ness-quick, do you celebrate National Hispanic Heritage Month? And you are Dominican, so tell us what it means to you.
Yeah, so I'm actually, for anyone in the squad that doesn't know, I am actually an immigrant. So I was born in the Dominican Republic. We migrated here. I was 4 years old, so Spanish is my first language. That's actually, I did a beauty pageant a couple of years back. That's my dad out in DR. And basically it was for this time exactly, for Hispanic Heritage Month. So, we brought together a bunch of different women from different countries, El Salvador, Mexico, Colombia, Cuba, Argentina, and, I grew up in a very heavily Hispanic dominated community. So Hispanic Heritage Month is actually huge for me. Growing up, a lot of people around here spoke Spanish. I grew up in Union City, New Jersey, which is the most densely populated city in the United States for its square foot, actually. So we all live one on top of the other, and it's like so many Hispanic small businesses. Everyone pretty much spoke Spanish growing up. So I was in a bilingual school at first, and learning English was actually pretty interesting because everyone around me spoke Spanish. And even being an immigrant here, so many different opportunities to learn about other cultures, although there's so many similar morals and values in Hispanic or Latino culture, though we migrated from here, a lot of the values and morals growing up at home were still very in touch with Dominican culture. So there were a lot of times where there were kids that I knew growing up whose parents were a lot more lenient about sleepovers or whose house you can go to. And there were a lot of things that I didn't really get to experience because it wasn't common in Dominican culture to just kind of hang out after school. There were a lot of things that were very different from me because although we were growing up in the States, it was still a Hispanic, Dominican rules, as if we never left the island. But it definitely shaped my character, shaped my work ethic. And Latinos are.
How old were you when you came here?
I was 3 years old, 4 years old.
So do you recall going to school and not speaking English, or you don't really recall that?
I actually have very vivid, which is kind of this picture here. I'm maybe, I don't know, 6 or 7 years old there. I spent my first few years in a bilingual private school,
Uh-huh.
and my teacher spoke Spanish.
So
So
you
I
didn't-
actually do.
so at least your parents didn't just throw you into public school, and you didn't have that culture shock of oh my god, what's going on here? You know, I'm the only one who
Yeah.
doesn't speak, English. You didn't have
Yeah,
that.
but even so, in this area, there are a lot of Hispanics. There's a lot of Mexican where I grew up, a lot of Dominican, Puerto Rican. Everyone in school growing up, ironically enough, in this area, Hudson County, New Jersey, is very, very Hispanic dominant. So I saw like people that looked like me. If anything, growing up, there was probably like one Caucasian girl and like one African American, and everyone else was Latino.
Do you recall?
So Hispanic Heritage Month was huge.
Do you recall your parents struggling, or was it an easy transition, or do you not remember?
Yeah, so my mom was actually back in the Dominican Republic. She was a single mom for the most part, so she worked 2 jobs out there. Then when we moved to the States, my stepfather really took on the working hat, and him as an entrepreneur too, growing up in different joining different businesses. He kind of like really figured it out
And that's
for
your
himself.
stepfather right there in that picture.
Well, the picture, just the two of us, that last one, that's
Yeah.
my dad in the Dominican Republic.
I was gonna say I was gonna say you look very much like your stepfather, so I'm like, okay.
No, that's my biological father who's
I see.
in the Dominican Republic. So I go back to the Dominican Republic every summer.
I see.
That's my stepdad there.
Right, and that's
in
you
this-
as the beauty queen.
Yeah, I was actually in that particular one. I was like Miss Hispanic New Jersey at that time.
That's so nice. Well,
Yeah.
happy Hispanic Heritage Month to you, your family, your friends, your compatriots,
Thank
everybody from the Caribbean, Latin America, Spain. It is National Hispanic Heritage
I love this
Month,
time.
and go enjoy your culture and where you come from, and celebrate it and enjoy the entire month.
Very proud. A lot of color, a lot of culture, a lot of love.
Yes. Meanwhile,
Yes.
despite it being National Hispanic Heritage Month, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals yesterday has lifted a block on Trump ending the temporary protected status for people from El Salvador, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Sudan. So now immigrants who have TPS, temporary protected status, they have been living here because of either natural disasters or because of strife in their particular country. That's why TPS is given 10, 20, 30 years. Well, Donald Trump is now ending it. And he was sued. There was an injunction. And now he is able to, as of yesterday, fully end it. For Haiti, for Nicaragua, for Sudan, it's going to end in 120 days. In El Salvador, it's going to end in 365 days. Now, immigrants from El Salvador make up the largest group of TPS recipients. There's an estimated 263,000 people from El Salvador. Paul Andre Mondesir from the National TPS Alliance said in a statement, to end protections for TPS families, including the more than 130,000 who have been risking their lives as essential workers in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic, would be very cruel. Well, it is very, very cruel. The case is likely, however, and hopefully, to be appealed to the Supreme Court. If it is appealed to the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court accepts that appeal, then the TPS protections will continue. Let's hope that happens. Meanwhile, Joe Biden has said that he will continue TPS. He is headed to Central Florida today, where he hopes to shore up support among Latino voters. A recent poll of Florida Latinos, and by the way, if Joe Biden wins Florida, Trump does not become president again if Joe Biden wins Florida. And Michael Bloomberg has already given $100 million to commercials in support of Joe Biden. A recent poll of Florida Latinos showed Biden leading among Hispanic voters 53% to Trump's 37%. And you want to know who ends up winning the election? Whoever gets their voters to vote. Because I
Right.
think everybody, for the most part, I mean, you got to be in a coma by this point if you're like, I don't know who to vote for. I think everybody has kind of made up their mind. I would find it I would think it would be very, very rare that you find people, probably less than 2, 3, 4%, who are like, I have no idea who to vote for. I would say 95, 96, 97% of the people, even if they say they're not sure who they're going to vote for, know who they're going to vote for. So it really comes down to, is Biden going to get his voters out? Is Trump going to get his voters out? If Biden gets his voters out in Florida, Biden wins Florida, Biden's going to be the president. Trump can't win the Electoral College if Biden wins Florida. If Biden loses Florida, Biden can still win if he wins Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Minnesota, Arizona. There's Nevada, North Carolina. He's got to win, I think, 5 out of the 7 of those states to win. But it all comes down to who gets their people to vote. Now, as far as TPS is concerned, if you are part of TPS, you will fall out of status if the Supreme Court doesn't take this up. If you're from Haiti, Nicaragua, Sudan in 120 days, El Salvador in 365 days, that doesn't mean that in 121 days, someone's going to come knock on your door and look to deport you. Simply because there's just not enough Department of Homeland Security official, there's not enough jails, there's not enough immigration judges to go and deport an additional 300,000-400,000 people on top of the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people that they're already putting in deportation. Also, almost everybody who has TPS most likely has been here at least 10 years or more. They would all be eligible for something if you are put in removal proceedings. First of all, you're eligible for a full constitutional hearing, which will take 2-3 years to go through. And if you have been here for more than 10 years, you're eligible for something called cancellation of removal if you can show extreme and unusual hardship to a family member, such as a parent, child, or spouse. So hopefully you have some family here as well. You could also try to figure out how to get a green card. There's lots of people who are hiring me right now and going through a process who have TPS. And there's another rule, by the way, there's another rule with TPS that a lot of people with TPS got advanced parole. They traveled home, they came back, and they used that second entry in order to show a legal entry if they married an American citizen or if they were going to have their children who are U.S. citizens file for them and they're over the age of 21 to adjust their status, because in order to adjust your status, you have to show a legal entry. And a lot of people with TPS originally came without inspection, then got TPS because of the natural disaster that happened in their particular country or the war that was happening in their particular country, then was able to travel on an advanced parole, leave the United States, and return and make a legal entry on an advanced parole. Trump changed the rule and said that legal entry is not a legal entry for adjustment of status if you're married to a U.S. citizen or you're going to get sponsored by your U.S. citizen son or daughter who's over the age of 21. However, a recent rule by Department of Homeland Security, and by the way, that's going to be another lawsuit, but a recent rule by the Department of Homeland Security says if you traveled before August 20th, 2020, it is a legal entry. If you traveled after August 20th, 2020, it's not. And I would assume that most people who had advanced parole have already traveled at least once. That's what's going on with TPS right now. Now, Yonathan, you said that we're going to have some trifling news, and there's nothing more trifling than this. And if in fact this turns out to be true, what a horrible, inhumane violation of decent and basic human rights this is going to turn out to be. A nurse at a Georgia Immigration and Customs Enforcement detention facility is accusing the detention center of allowing an unusual number of hysterectomies to be performed on immigrants detained there without their consent. In a whistleblower complaint sent by Project South to the Department of Homeland Security and its Inspector General, a nurse named Dawn Wooten described poor treatments of migrants detained at the Irwin County Detention Center, including limited and negligent medical care and minimal testing for COVID-19. The facility is operated by LaSalle Corrections, a private prison company, something Joe Biden said he will stop. Joe Biden said there will be no more private prison companies. The let's make a dollar or let's make a profit on imprisonment of people has to end in 2020. Now, this whistleblower complaint alleges that immigrant women were frequently sent to a gynecologist outside the detention center who frequently chose to remove all or a portion of the detainee's uterus or womb. One detained immigrant said she spoke with 5 women who were at the facility from October to December of last year, all of whom had a hysterectomy. She also said that one young woman needed an ovary removed because of a cyst, but the doctor removed the wrong ovary, ultimately requiring the removal of both ovaries. The whistleblower said she still wanted children. She has to go back home now and tell her husband she can no longer bear children. She said she was not all the way out under anesthesia and heard the doctor tell the nurse that he took the wrong ovary. Wooden was among multiple people described in the complaint as saying that some women did not know that the procedure was being performed at all and were not told exactly what the procedure entailed, especially if you don't even speak English. Maybe they didn't even give a translator.
Wow.
Another woman reported being given 3 different answers about what procedure would be done on her. The complaint also described accusations of limited COVID testing at the facility, a lack of adequate medical care, including not giving detainees life-saving medications, and overall neglect and absolute disrespect for anybody's pain.
That is insane.
That is more than insane.
How do you perform any type of surgery without having people understand what you're even doing?
How is it that all of a sudden all the women in this facility all got hysterectomies?
That's disgusting.
How does that happen? Now, you can say, you can guess a lot of different things. I mean, you can guess the most sinister thing, which is, the Trump administration is trying to, prevent people from coming to the United States. They want to have unnecessary medical care on people, let them go home and tell their stories and scare everybody from coming. I mean, that would be the most insane of all. I have no idea. I'm taking guesses. I'm not saying that's what's happening. You could also guess that perhaps the facility makes money on operations, on giving medical care. So there's different costs and charges that they can charge the U.S. government for different medical care. So I guess the facility, I would presume, I don't know this for a fact also, maybe they send a bill to the United States government every time they have an operation on a detainee. So they're just making operations for people to make money. I don't know. You can guess a lot of reasons why. You can guess a lot of very sinister, disgusting violation of every human decency. It's not even a violation of law. It's a violation of human decency. Right. If in fact this is what's happening, and you can guess, I don't know why it's happening. We'll find out soon enough. But if it turns out that this is happening and it's true, that is horrible.
Yeah. And especially that story you just said, where the lady has to go back home and tell her husband, I cannot have any children. Like, in cultures, I don't know how it is, and in cultures that you know of, but like with my culture, that's like something that, that's like the only thing, you feel like you're here for is to, give your husband children. It's like the feeling that you cannot provide that for him. Like it's because of something so evil like this. It's sick.
And what about you going to escape violence, and this is what you get?
Right.
I mean, you're leaving a violent place coming to get unnecessary surgery and to remove all of your female parts that you can't have children anymore?
Yeah, that's evil.
I just don't even want to think that this is something that's happening so that these people don't bear children in the United States. Like, I
That could
didn't
be
want to
that,
say that thought out loud.
that could be a reason too. I mean, you can come up with a lot of reasons. All of them are inhumane and cruel, and as Yonathan said, evil. I hope it's not true. This is a whistleblower complaint. There will be more. We will follow this story.
So this lady is the nurse that said it.
She is the nurse who said it. We have one person at one facility who said this. So let's hope it's not true. I mean, if it is, I don't know. I mean,
Right.
let's see. We will follow the story and see what's happening. Meanwhile, the Justice Department has opened up a criminal investigation into the mustache, John Bolton. He was Donald Trump's former national security advisor. He wrote the book, The Room Where It Happened. The investigation comes after the department failed to stop the book's publication. They claim that in the book, John Bolton released classified information. This sounds to me like it's more like I'm going to use the Justice Department to investigate my enemies and really scare people into writing any bad books about me. If I'm Donald Trump, that's what it sounds like to me. Now, Bolton confirmed elements of the Ukraine scheme that prompted the impeachment of Donald Trump. Trump said on Twitter that Bolton broke the law and should be in jail. Money seized for disseminating for profit highly classified information. We'll see what happens with that. Meanwhile, Louisville has settled Breonna Taylor's wrongful death lawsuit. The city of Louisville, Kentucky has agreed to pay $12 million to the family of Breonna Taylor, the 26-year-old EMT killed by police 6 months ago. Taylor's family sued the city after Louisville Metro police officers broke down the door to Taylor's apartment and fatally shot her while executing a late-night no-knock warrant on a narcotics investigation in March 13th. A CNN review of the shooting found that police believe Taylor was home alone when she was in fact accompanied by her boyfriend, who was legally armed. The miscalculation, along with the decision to press forward with a high-risk forced entry raid under questionable circumstances, contributed to the deadly outcome. $12 million, Yo-Yo. I'm sure you have something to say about this.
Yeah. Okay. So is that going to bring her back?
No.
Okay. So where are the cops? Are they arrested?
Right.
Because that's what we've been fighting for. That's what we've been calling the station for. We've literally, me and my friends have literally called every week saying, hey, you guys have to arrest the killers of this lady. So is this $12 million just hush money?
Right.
It's just, it kind of pisses me off. Like, say this was me that got killed. I'm not going to be able to do anything with this $12 million. If anything, if this, God forbid, if anything like this happened to me, I would want the killers in jail. F the money. Like,
That doesn't justify it. It doesn't justify the action. Okay. We can't bring this person back, number one. Like, that is, no amount of money will ever bring this family full peace because this young woman did not even get to see her 30s, number one. So in terms of where is the justice doesn't have a price. These people acted wrongfully, and they're still walking free. They can do this again.
They go to jail.
My opinion.
They go to jail. That's what they deserve. Doesn't bring her back. The money doesn't bring her back. Nothing brings her back. You don't get justice when you lose a young woman for no reason, sleeping in her bed, being at home. There is no justice.
You don't.
There's no justice. The money, the
there's
jail,
no
there is no justice. The only justice, and it's, after the fact, is you say, if this brings about change, then her life was a worthy life. It would be very sad for somebody to lose their life and everything goes back to being the same.
Right.
But there is no justice no matter where you look at this.
there's no justice, but at least I, um, as a family member, would feel a lot better knowing that the killers of my, family member cannot just roam the street free and live their life normal, and my sister, daughter, mother, whoever she is to me, will never be able to walk this earth again. $12 million is not going to do that for me. If it's a family member, a friend, there's no way I would have accepted that. It's just not going to.
A friend or a family member, if you said here's $30 million and the person you love is no longer here, I don't want the money.
I don't want the money.
I want the person who I love.
I don't want the money.
I want the person back. That's what I want.
Right, and you can't get it back, and that's the sad part about life. And
Exactly.
the sad part about what happened here.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, a crawling Hurricane Sally is threatening historic rainfall in parts of the Gulf Coast. We have historic fires in California and now a historic rainfall event that is about to happen on the Gulf Coast. The update raises fears that significant flooding is in store for Mississippi, Alabama, and the Florida Panhandle. The Sally, which is a Category 1 storm with a maximum sustained wind of 85 miles an hour, is only moving at 2 miles an hour, which means that it's just going to sit over Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida and not move and just continuously dump rain. And when you hear hurricanes and the disasters that happen from hurricanes, the disasters happen from flooding, not from winds. I mean, yes, winds destroy things too, but the real disaster comes from flooding, and they're concerned that they're going to have a once-in-a-century flooding event in Florida, Alabama, and Mississippi as a result of this. Several shelters have already opened in the area. People are evacuating. It's not the wind. It's the fact that this is an extraordinarily slow-moving storm at 2 miles an hour. Think about a huge hurricane. How fast is 2 miles an hour? That would basically be you're at crawling speed. You're at baby crawling speed. And look how big that thing is on a map. It's going to rain for days and days and days unless this thing picks up speed.
Wow.
I hope it does.
I hope it does too.
I don't feel like those states are actually equipped, for rain like that.
I don't think so either. And it's going to be historic flooding. And, we say every day, climate change is coming to a movie theater near you. I say it every day. It's just a matter of time. Whether it's rain, fires, it's coming to a movie theater near you. And we better do something about it. We better do something about it very, very fast. It's going to get worse and worse every year. Meanwhile, Yo-Yo and Vanessa, call out the U.S. Space Force. We have some work for U.S. Space Force finally. Donald Trump's new army in space. Scientists have detected a life form on Venus. The researchers are trying to understand what this toxic life form gas is. But there is some sort of life form in toxic gas on Venus. The mystery raises the possibility that Venus, the planet that comes closest to Earth as it moves around the sun, might have some kind of life flourishing more than 35 miles up in its yellow clouds. Could it be some green people? We need Space Force, Yo-Yo. Thank God.
Let's do it.
Thank God for Donald Trump. He knew that there was going to be some life form on Venus. Maybe it's that guy right there. All right, we may not be able to stop COVID, but we will stop those green guys from Venus. That is for sure.
Maybe we need them.
Meanwhile, nothing could live on what passes for land on Venus, by the way. Its volcanic plains exceed 800 degrees Fahrenheit. So these living creatures are living up in the sky somewhere. They're flying around or doing something. You know, high in the
Oh.
clouds, the pressures and temperatures and the acidity levels are less intense, and that's where something living is. Maybe microbes. I don't think it's this green guy, but it's some form of living microbe flying around the gas clouds of Venus.
So is that like alien Earth?
I don't know. I think it's more like alien COVID, you know? Like
Oh,
little,
so it's
little,
just like-
little viruses. There's not little real green men going around. Like little amoebas, little microbes, little something or others in the,
Gotcha.
in those clouds. I would highly doubt that somewhere in those clouds is a flying green guy.
Well, I mean, listen, who's to say that a flying green guy can't, live in that type of world?
Maybe we don't see the flying green guy. It's very possible. Show us! Show yourself, flying green guy! Show yourself!
Show
There
your
he
face.
is!
There he is! All right. We got to get to some immigration questions. Yo-Yo and Vanessa, why don't you tell everybody what they need to do while I stretch and get ready to answer your immigration questions?
Absolutely. All right, everybody on Facebook, you already know what time it is. It's time to start your watch parties. All you have to do is click share, more options. Then it says host a watch party or start a watch party, then click start. It is the best thing to do because it takes the video from our page to your page. It's like you're actually hosting this party. Everybody will be commenting under your watch party. So make sure you at them and tell them about the watch party, tell them what the show is about, and then also tell them to come to the main page. Introduce them, let them know that we have a whole community. We are helping people from around the world, and this is their way of being able to help people as well. If you want to do good, look, I try and do good every week. I'm like, all right, so what's my good deed of the day? This is your good deed every day, and you can have everybody do the same thing. So make sure you start your watch parties. Also, sharing is caring. Make sure you share. All you have to do is click that little share button, share it to anybody's page. You could copy the link and send it in a text message blast. You could also send it as a direct message, all right? So make sure you guys do that. When you send it as a direct message, it makes me feel a little bit better because I feel like, oh, okay, this person actually really thinks that I should watch this, so I'm going to watch it. So that's a very important way to share as well. Ness-quick, what are we going to do on YouTube?
On YouTube, Brad Squad, we should already be subscribed to the channel and make sure you turn on the notification bell so you know when Brad Show is live Monday through Friday. Of course, right below, I want to see you guys put those thumbs up. I'm taking a look at us right now on YouTube, and we've moved up since our other little social media commercial break, but I need to see more thumbs up, you guys. Brad is giving us all this information, and the least that we can do is show him some love and give him a thumbs up. That lets YouTube know that we're doing great work here, and it helps us reach more people. It helps our squad grow. So let's get to that and give that thumbs up, get those thumbs up going. Of course, you'll see right below there is an arrow that says share. So this is the time when you want to let people know, hey, this is it. Brad is about to answer immigration questions that you may have. You can call in. You never know when there's someone out there that has the same question that needs to be answered and they just don't have the source. Be the connector. Let them know that we're providing all this knowledge and value here. Of course, we are on Instagram at Brad Show Live, where you'll catch the best snippets of our show. You can also direct message us there with some of your questions that we'll be sharing later on in social media check-in, or even during our speed round. And nonetheless, you catch the best snippets of our show. If you can't get a full show in, or maybe you're trying to share this with a friend that can't make it right now, Instagram is where you'll find the best snippets there. Without further ado, you guys, let's get right to the bread and butter, getting answers to your immigration questions.
All right, I got some bread and butter, and let me speak to Simi in Fairfax, Virginia. Simi, how are you?
I'm good. Hi, Uncle Brad.
How you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, it's actually, I only got to know about your show today, and I must confess I've enjoyed it so far.
Thank you.
Good job you're doing.
Just wait for the second hour is better than the first. You enjoy it
Oh,
now.
okay.
Wait till it gets better as we go. Trust me.
Okay.
What's your question?
So, yeah, I am an international student, and then I also got married recently.
Congratulations.
But thank you. But I'm in Nigerian, and I'm wondering if the Trump ban on Nigeria earlier in the year actually affects me. I watched one of your old videos earlier today, about 7 months ago, that suggested that we really don't have the path to the adjustment of status.
That's not true. You can,
Okay.
as a Nigerian who is married to a U.S. citizen, adjust your status here.
Oh, good.
All right.
Thank you.
So you can file your adjustment. Has nothing to do with the proclamation with Donald Trump.
Okay. Thank you.
So move forward. Now, we have even spoken recently to the consulate in Nigeria, and they're telling us, although I haven't seen it yet, they're telling us that they would approve green cards for Nigerians as long as we can prove they're not taking jobs away from Americans. So it's even plausible in certain scenarios for a Nigerian to do a marriage case in Nigeria. And by the way, even before we spoke to the consulate about this, I was suggesting to everybody to do it anyway, because who knows, laws change, the way they figure out how they're going to process cases. New presidents, hopefully in 45 days, whatever the election is.
Yeah.
All right. So the answer to you is, you're married now, Simi?
Yes.
Okay. File your adjustment right now. The filing fees are going up October 3rd, so you'll save money if you file now. And you'll get a green card as long as you're in a. Now, two things, Simi. All right, because you haven't been watching my show. So if you watch my show every day, you're going to learn this. A bona fide marriage. That's what you got to prove to get your green card. What is a bona fide marriage? Bona fide means real, legitimate, for love. How do you prove this is a real, legitimate, for love marriage? Immigration, this is the way they do it. Right or wrong, this is the way they do it. You prove you live with your spouse. You prove you have a financial relationship with them. You've proven you're in love. That's how immigration looks at it. All right? Hold on if you need help. Let's go to Samin in Queens, New York. Samin.
Brad, good evening. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I called you yesterday, and I'm your fan for your show.
Great.
But I did call you yesterday. I trying to make sure something, but I think I make a miss.
You spoke to me on the phone. Or you spoke to me on the show yesterday.
On the show yesterday.
Okay, fine. All right.
So, but I think I'm wrong with the math. So I was married with my U.S. citizen. That's how I got my green card, 10-year green card. And last year we divorced. We were married last 10 years. And yesterday I was asking you that my time is reaching, which is 4 years, 9 months, and 3 days.
As a green card holder.
As a permanent green card holder.
Okay.
The day the judge, he granted me for the permanent resident, that was December 2015.
Right.
Correct me, which month is this year I can able to
if you were granted adjustment of status on December 15th, 2015, that's what it should indicate on your green card. And then you go back 90 days, so that would be November, October, September 15th is approximately 90 days. That's today. Wait another week and file your citizenship.
Okay, great. This is the and then one more question is that when I came to the first time in the United States, that was 2005, and I just used to work in a kind of a mini mart gas station, and I have no experience. One guy, he came, he asked me for the pack of cigarette. I gave it to him. Once he left, he disappeared.
He was under 18?
Yeah, the police came inside. They say, we sent him. They just tricked me because I'm new.
Right.
And they give me kind of someone, but they do take me with me. They arrest me because I don't have ID.
This was before you got your green card?
Yes.
And when you got your green card, you indicated you were arrested and you gave the disposition.
Yes, the attorney in Connecticut, I gave him that arrest, whatever the police officer, they gave me letters. And then I go to the court.
What was the end result of that case, just out of curiosity?
Okay, it was guilty because there's a free lawyer over there, and he say you just play guilty. But either way, if you play guilty or not guilty, you're still going to have to fight with your case.
Pled guilty to what? What did you plead guilty to?
That I because they have a video, they have a video cameraman.
So I assume it's a misdemeanor, right?
It's a misdemeanor, yeah.
And you didn't go to jail.
No, they just arrest me temporarily in the prison, like a police station.
So as a misdemeanor and you didn't go to jail, it's a petty offense. You gave that disposition when you adjusted your status. Immigration.
Yeah, when I filed, my attorney, when he filed my green card application by adjustment of status,
sure,
I did give it to him.
So you're
and
fine.
I received that.
You're
I paid the amount for the fine.
You're fine.
And he sent it to them.
You're
so
fine.
now when I file my citizenship, should I send the same thing?
Absolutely, but you're fine.
And what else I have to send? Green card, copy of green card.
That's it.
That the police, whatever that happened, the ticket, and also
the disposition, copy of your green card. Fill out the form and mail it in.
And the divorce copy, because USCIS does not know that I'm divorced already.
Yeah, you can submit that too.
Okay, thank you.
All right, good luck.
Thank you, Brad. Alrighty, bye-bye.
Let's go to Junior in Cincinnati. Junior.
Oh, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I have two questions.
Go ahead.
First one is, on my birth paper, what my doctor sponsored me, I'm over 21, but my dad's name is not on my birth certificate. Is that a problem?
Yes, because nobody knows he's your dad but you. And him. So you got to prove. Let me ask you a question. Was your dad married to your mom?
No.
All right. So you got two problems. One is you got to prove he's your biological father. And two, because your dad was never married to your mom, you have to prove that not only is your biological father, but that you have a relationship with your father from birth to 18. They discriminate against fathers who are not married to the mothers. If the father was married to the mother, you wouldn't have to prove it. But the fact that the father was not married to the mother, you got to prove biological father plus a relationship from birth to 18. So you say, how do I do all of this? First of all, you show affidavits from people that he acknowledged that he was your father from birth. You show pictures together growing up with him. Maybe he supported you, proof that he supported you growing up, and then they'll probably ask for a blood test.
Yeah, the second question. I'm over 21. He sponsored me if I go back home and I get denied. Is that a problem?
How long have you been here in the United States?
About 4 months.
You can go home. You can go home. You've overstayed 4 months already. If you go home in less than 180 days, you do not have a bar, but your visa is no good. They're not going to give you a new visa. And if your father files for you, it's going to be 6-7 years wait probably. You're going to be home.
Okay.
All right. So stay here and call me, and we can talk more. All right. Let's go to Velma in East Orange, New Jersey.
Hello, Mr. Bernstein.
How are you?
I am very blessed, thanks. I'm a former client of yours.
Okay. What's going on?
I would like to know how long after you get your green card can you apply for citizenship?
How did you get your green card?
My son filed for me.
4 years, 9 months, and 3 days.
4 years, 9 months, 3 days?
Correct.
Oh.
When did you get your green card?
I was wondering if you think they would be offering any citizenship since it's election time, election year.
No, it's still 4 years, 9 months, 3 days.
Okay, well, thank you so much, and have a best day.
Thank you, you too. Let's go to Sam in Austin. Sam. Sam.
Hello?
Hi.
Hey, how you doing, Brad?
Good, what's going on?
Good, man, good. Okay, so this is a long story, but I'll try to make it brief. I came into the U.S. back in 2004 via K1 fiancé visa from Morocco.
Okay.
From Morocco.
Okay.
So I got married within the 90 days, applied for the green card, went through all the steps and everything the legal way. I got my Social Security, my work permit, and we waited almost 5 years, and I never received my green card.
Wow.
Yeah, every time I check online, call them, or even went to the immigration office, I get the same response, pending, and no one knows why. FBI background check came back clean, but still no one knows why the wait. In 2009, I received a letter to go for another interview. But at that time, me and my wife, which is a U.S. citizen, we were separated, and she didn't want to continue the process with me. But we still went together to the interview and explained to the officer that we were no longer together and we were getting divorced soon. The officer made me sign to withdraw my application, the I-485, but never been told what to do after that. So I never left the country. I'm still here in the U.S. In 2010, I met someone else, and when we got married, based on love and everything. We're still married till now, but we never applied to just the status because I keep hearing that I have to go back to my country, then reapply from scratch. Yes, sir.
All right. Your biggest mistake was in 2010 when you probably either hired a bad lawyer or no lawyer.
Right.
There is something called, and this is the issue, okay? You never know when you're going to have an issue until there's an issue. You think everything's good. You're going with your wife. You're going to say it's a real marriage. They'll give me a green card. And you didn't even realize you were going to have an issue until they made you withdraw your case. Had you had a lawyer there who understood the law, the lawyer would have yelled out, Matter assesse, I've got the case right here. And you can Google it. Sessay. It was a guy, I don't know where he was from. He came to the United States. He got married on a K-1, did everything properly just like you did, waited years for a green card, immigration sat on his rights, and then eventually separated from his wife, got divorced from his wife, and never got the green card. And what the law says is this. On a K-1 visa, the act of getting married and the act of your wife providing an affidavit of support for you is all that is required for you to get a green card. So, in 2010, when you went for that interview and that officer made you withdraw the case, that was wrong. All you had to say was, Matter assesse. I got married. My wife gave me an affidavit of support. It was real. You have to give me a green card whether we're together or not, whether we're divorced or not, whether we even live together at this point or not, as long as we can prove it was a real marriage when we got the green card. Lucky for you, Sam, you can still do that. So what I would suggest that we do is this. We refile a new adjustment application for you under Matter of Sesse. And if you don't believe me, Google it. Just Google Matter of Sesse. You'll read the case law.
Okay.
And we file an adjustment under Matter of Sesse. We get copies of the immigration records to show your wife already gave an affidavit of support. We prove it was a real marriage. You get a green card. End of story.
Even if I'm divorced?
Even if you're divorced. I heard your wife in the background.
Okay. So, yeah, my concern is it's okay to reapply since I overstayed. I never left.
My answer to you doesn't change. We file a new adjustment under Matter of Sesse. You're entitled to get your green card under that law. All you, Sam, have to prove it was a real marriage when you got married. Your wife gave you an affidavit of support. That's it.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Whether you're married, divorced, or anything, and if you need help, hold on. All right. All right. Let's go to Daniel in Houston. Daniel.
Hey, Brad. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Nice to talk to you again. I never miss your show.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. My question is based on an adjustment status. I applied on 2019. And my case was just transferred 2 times. The first one is on April, and I'm just waiting for the interview. Now on August, at the August end, they say they are transferring my case again. I mean, what did you expect for the next process right now?
You went on how many interviews so far?
I'm still waiting for the interview.
You're still waiting for an interview. When did you file?
May 2019.
All right, so you're now a year and change into this, and you still haven't got an interview yet?
No, sir.
Okay, and this is in Houston, Texas?
Yes, sir.
And the last place your case got transferred to was where?
I believe NBC.
All right, so you're still at the National Benefit Center.
Yes.
Well,
they say they're gonna send me explanation paper, but they didn't send no paper yet.
When you filed in May, was it filed properly, or did you ever get an RFE?
I didn't receive no RFE.
You got a work permit?
Yeah, I do.
All right, and you and your wife live together?
Yes, sir.
Where are you from?
Ethiopia.
I
Located in Africa.
don't know the answer why you didn't get an interview. We can say it's COVID. We can say it's Ethiopia, where you're originally from. I don't have the answer. I know the solution, and the solution is one of two.
Okay.
Either one, we wait. Eventually, you'll get an interview, or two, we do what's called a pre-litigation mandamus, which is a threat to sue the government for sitting on your rights. You're entitled to a green card. You're married to a U.S. citizen. As being married to a U.S. citizen, they say you're an immediate relative. That's what the law says. Immediate means immediately eligible for a green card. And that doesn't mean 18 months later you're still waiting for an interview. So we threaten a mandamus, and hopefully that works. It works most of the time. And then they'll schedule you for an interview.
Okay. And my extension was going to expire on November. And I think when I asked for a stamp, what they call it, the I-51, they was asking me a passport, right?
1 second. Why are you getting an I-551? That means you have a green card. You don't have a green card.
I do have a green card, sir. You know, I'm on adjustment status.
You are not on adjustment of status. All right, so you're not explaining yourself properly. When you are, so everything I've said to you, and you go, yeah, it makes sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense to you because I've answered the wrong question.
Yeah, maybe somebody needs that answer.
You have and it's amazing that I'm having this whole conversation with you. You're like, oh yeah, that sounds great. And I'm like, I've answered a completely wrong question because you didn't explain yourself right. When you say I have pending adjustment, that means you're still waiting for your conditional green card. You don't have anything. Okay?
Yes.
So you have what you have now, and I'm reading between the lines, is you have a 2-year conditional green card, and you have filed to remove the conditions of your permanent residence.
Yeah, that's correct.
All right. So when you filed in May 2019 and you still haven't heard anything now in September, that's not unusual. They're taking 18, 20, 22 months now.
Okay, yeah, I think it's going to be November now. It's going to expire on November.
So you can if you can get a letter from your job saying they need proof that you have a green card, and you can take that letter down to immigration. They'll put a stamp in your passport.
Okay, and another question.
And then 1 second. And then if 2 years comes and goes and you still haven't heard, that's when you call me, and that's when we'll threaten a mandamus.
Okay, all right. At the same time, I read on the internet. I don't know if it's true or not. They say they waive some of the interview based on marriage.
Yes, it's true. It's possible it could happen.
Okay, all right. If you still been married for 4 years in a certain period of time.
It's usually going to be waived where people have children together and can show joint tax returns, and it's obviously a legitimate marriage.
Okay, all right. I got that answered. One more question. So on November, when I asked for the extension for a stamp, the I-51, I think that's what I call it?
I-551.
I-551, yeah. So I have to provide them a passport, right?
Yes.
Okay. My case was...
You also, because of COVID, you just can't do appointments anymore. You have to show some emergent reason. Okay. Because of COVID. So that's why I said get a letter from your job saying they need a stamp in your passport for you to work.
Yeah.
So you just can't go there and say, give me a stamp. They're going to say, get out of here. It's COVID.
I got you. But my problem is right now, when you just renew the passport right now, it was still delaying my passport. I didn't get it yet. But I get a letter from the embassy. My passport is still on the process.
Okay, I can't do anything about your passport, but if you have some form of identification, you go down and they'll give you a stamp on an I-94 or something.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you.
good luck.
Bye-bye.
All right, let's go to Adama in the Bronx. Adama,
Hello?
how are you?
Good. I have a question. I applied for asylum like 5 years now. I got married almost like 2 years now. For my asylum case, I went to interview already, and I'm on a removal proceeding. And right now, my wife want to file the petition for me.
When is your
And
next?
I want to.
Let me ask you a few questions. I understand you filed for
Yes.
asylum. You lost it. You're now in removal. You got married. How did you
Yes.
come to the United States?
By visa.
Okay, where are you from?
Burkina Faso.
Okay, and you and your wife live together?
Yes.
When is your next hearing date? Do you know when?
It's on November 2021.
Okay, 2021. So we got a year and change.
Yes.
And is that a
Yes.
final hearing for your individual, for your asylum?
Yes.
Okay. So what you need to do right now, you have enough time, but you
Okay.
got to do it now. Don't wait till the last
Okay.
second. You have
Okay.
to file an I-130 visa petition, prove you
Okay.
and your wife are in a bona fide marriage. Do
Okay.
it all up front. So with the visa petition, a whole package of material, you live together, you have
Okay.
a financial relationship together. You
Okay.
submit it with a cover letter, and you are in your cover letter in bold letters, you are going to write, I am requesting a bona fide marriage exemption. If you don't have that sentence on your cover letter to immigration, it will all be returned. I am requesting
Okay.
a bona fide marriage exemption, because you're not allowed to file a visa petition if you're in removal unless you can prove beyond a reasonable doubt you're in a bona fide marriage, which is why you're requesting I am in a bona fide marriage exemption, which is why you're submitting 1 million documents to prove it's a real marriage.
Okay.
They will schedule you for an interview. You're going to go on that interview with your spouse. They're going to separate you in 2 different rooms. You're going to get the ratified
Okay.
marriage interview, or the Stokes interview. We call it the ratified marriage interview here on Bradshaw Live. They're going to ask your wife 300 questions. They're going to ask you 300 questions. What side of the bed do you sleep on? Boxers or briefs? How many locks on the front door of your house? What type of toothpaste do you use? Everything only a husband and wife living together would know the answers to. And then, assuming, let me finish. Assuming you pass,
Okay.
then you can go to the judge and say, Judge, I have an approved visa petition. Let me withdraw my asylum case and let me do my adjustment. And you got to do all this before November of 2021. That's why you got to start now.
Yeah. But my question is, how long it's gonna take for
Over
the
a
I-130
year.
to be
Over a
approved?
year. Do it now.
Yeah, that's
Do
okay.
it now.
Okay, but yeah, my problem is it was better for me to wait for my second interview or to fight for the one.
Your problem is you're not listening to the words that come out of my mouth. That's your
Okay.
problem. I said, do
Okay.
it now. Why?
Okay, no problem.
Let me tell you
Okay,
why.
thank you.
Because you will get it
Okay.
done by next November. And
Okay.
and it is much
Okay.
easier to prove, to go to a judge and say, here's my approved visa petition, than to convince a judge your life's in danger if you go home. Much easier case.
Okay. All
Hold
right.
on if you need help. Let's go to Natalie in Las Vegas. Natalie,
Oh, hello, Brad.
how you doing?
How are you doing?
How are you?
Good, thank you.
What's going on?
So, actually, this was a previous case was actually closer to mine. I'm in removal proceedings, and while I was in removal proceedings, I got married 1 year ago.
Great.
And my husband filed for me I-130, and it got approved without an interview. Now I cannot file for I-485 since the court date was canceled because of the COVID, and we don't know when it will be. So, I mean, hearing date is not available now.
Right.
And yes, for I-485 before judge, we need to
Correct.
do that, I know. And then my question is, do we still have an interview? And if so, how that would be? I mean, before the judge or after submitting the paperwork, we will have actual date for an interview?
You have to do an adjustment before the judge. The I-130, did you marry before you were put in removal or after?
No, after.
Wow.
After, and it got approved already.
Did you request a bona fide marriage exemption?
Yes.
You did. Well, it got approved. You're going to do the adjustment before the judge. Lucky you. You're supposed to get a Stokes interview. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, so no interview afterwards if it got approved?
I don't know what you did. All I can tell you is you're supposed to get an interview if you get married while in removal before they approve it. So it's possible that down the line somebody realizes you didn't get interviewed and they'll interview you again and put off your adjustment with a judge. But right now you have an approved I-130. You got to just basically make a motion to recalendar your case as quickly as possible as soon as the courts reopen up, and ask for as quick a master calendar as you can get to tell the judge, here's my approved I-130. I want to adjust my status before you so you can finish your case.
Okay, and thank you very much. And one more thing, because all this happening, and now I need to renew my work permit in like 6 months. So based on what before this happened, because I don't know, court may be open later, how I can do that based on which application?
What is your work permit based on previously?
On my previous case.
Which was what?
Asylum.
You can still renew your asylum. You can.
Okay.
All right, but the answer is hopefully you'll be able to adjust your status.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Where are you from?
Thank you very much.
Where are you from?
I'm from Russia.
Okay. Hold on one second if you need help. Let's go to Max in the Bronx. Max.
Yes, Bert, thank you for everything. So my question, my friend, he applied for food stamp, but he's American citizen. His family American, citizen, case-born citizen. So he tried to apply for his brother. So it's affecting his anything when he applied for his brother.
He's an American citizen. For his daughter, who is a child, food stamps don't affect you filing for another family member, as long as it's for the child, not for him.
Not to him, right? Only he can apply for child, right?
Only for child, yes.
Okay, thank you. So another question, Ben. So my situation, I have 10-year green card. 10-year green card. Then, my wife take my green card, and then I reapply. They gave me replacement 10 more years green card. So I have until 2030, but I'm arrested last month.
What happened last month?
I arrested for domestic violence.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So I applied already my citizenship.
They're not going to do anything with your citizenship while you have a pending domestic violence case. If, God forbid, you're convicted of it, you're going to have a problem.
But before I arrested, I applied for citizen.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. So
even if you got interviewed and you were supposed to swear in the next day, you can't. You got arrested.
Okay. So if they give me I spoke to my lawyer. It's still a pending case. I hope it's dismissed. If not dismissed, if they give me pretrial intervention or pretrial detention, what I can do? I can take those.
Yeah, you can take anything that hopefully doesn't make you deportable, and then we'll deal with citizenship after about good moral character. Those are two different issues.
And after how many, after I finish those courses or classes, and then how many, how long I have to wait for good moral character?
5 years. But maybe, but it depends, I don't know what the circumstances around the arrest are. You're allowed to have a bad day. I don't know what happened. So it depends what happens with the case. But I'm not going to solve it here. It depends what the facts of the case are. It depends how the case is resolved, and then we'll figure it out. So hold on one second.
All right.
All right. Let's go to Alfonso in Syracuse. Alfonso.
Hi, Brad.
How you doing?
I'm good. I've been following your show. Thank you so much for the information.
My pleasure.
I'm from Liberia. I'm fighting for my wife. I got married 2018, and I'm fighting for her 2019, and I haven't received a letter from immigration, approval letter.
You have not?
So you think, how long you think I gotta wait before I receive?
You're a U.S. citizen, Alfonso?
I just applied for my citizenship.
Okay, and when did you file? In 2018?
Yeah.
All right. Until you're a citizen, I don't know if they're going to approve it or not, because right now you can't get a green card based on marriage to a resident because of Trump's proclamations. So I would assume they may approve it at some point, but even if they do, you got this proclamation issue. Hopefully they approve it soon, but if not, certainly once you're a citizen, they have to approve it. So hopefully you become a citizen soon.
So when I become citizen, I got to reapply, or?
No, you just upgrade it. You let them know that you're a citizen now.
All right.
All right.
My second question, I applied for my citizenship, but I don't. The green card, the real hard copy, I think I misplaced it, but I had it on my email.
That's fine.
I seen it on my phone.
They have a record that you have a green card. Don't worry about it. As long as you have your passport, some other photo ID.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Alfonso. All right. Let's go to Lenray in Atlanta. Lenray.
Hello,
Hey, how
Brad.
are you? How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for everything you do, Brad.
My pleasure.
I have. Let me start like this. Yesterday, I came. Let me start like that. I came into the United States in 2013 via the F11 visa category.
Mm-hmm. So your mom
And,
or your dad filed for you, I assume?
My dad.
Your
mhm.
dad. Okay.
Yeah. So at the time of filing, it was indicated to me because he had to file for married sons and daughters. So I came in 2013 as single.
Correct.
And at the time he filed, I was single, but I got married in the middle of it.
So you got a problem. So do you have a huge misrepresentation issue?
Say that again?
You have a huge misrepresentation issue. You jumped the line.
Okay.
And you didn't notify immigration that you were married. And the wait for a married son or daughter is twice as long as the wait for an unmarried. And when and if immigration ever finds this out, they're going to look to take your green card away for fraud. So, Lenray, my advice to you is, and have a consultation. Hold on. Let's go to Anthony in Fort Worth, Texas. Anthony.
Hello?
How are you?
Okay, I'm doing good, Brad. Thank you for your show.
My pleasure.
So my question is, I came in here as a student, F1.
Uh-huh.
So, I fell in love and we got married June 2019.
Great. Where you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
Uh-huh.
Then we filed in August 2019.
Uh-huh.
Then my first interview was scheduled on February 2020, but because of COVID, it was canceled.
Okay.
Then it was scheduled again in August, 5th August. So we did the interview. So I was waiting for like 2 weeks to get a notification. But up to now, I've not gotten anything. I don't know if that's a problem.
I don't know. I don't know what happened to the interview, but you got to give them at least 120 days before you jump to conclusions.
120 days? That's
Correct.
4 months?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So hang in there and then call me back in 4 months if you haven't heard.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go to Dave in the Bronx. Dave.
Hey, brother, what's up, bro?
What's up?
Blessings for the good work, man.
Thank you.
Question is, last year my green card expired January the 31st, so they sent me some stuff I should send in back.
You had a 10-year. You had a 10-year or a 2-year?
A 2 years.
Okay.
So they send it and I send it back. They send me a letter that it's approved.
Uh-huh.
But
They sent a letter. What do you mean they sent a letter? That your your 10 years approved? Your 751 was approved?
Yeah.
All right, good for
Yeah,
you. So what's the problem?
Extension for 18 months, but basically there's no green card in the mail. So I want to go down to my passport is expired. It's going to expire in the next 4 months. So I want to go down to get it.
But you already have the approval saying your 10-year was approved. You just never got it in the mail?
Yeah, but I'm scared to even travel with that piece of paper.
All right, so yeah, you shouldn't. What you need to do, you want to travel, buy your plane ticket, then make an appointment on InfoPass to go down to immigration, show them your approval for your 10-year, show them your plane ticket, give them a valid passport, and they'll put a temporary green card stamp in your passport to travel. And that will be perfect.
Thank you.
All right?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Good luck.
Blessings again.
All right. All right. I think that's going to be it for now. So let's see what else we got. In today's Braducation, look at me. This is great television. I put the thing right in front of me. I got to learn better. Also, we're not on TV. This is the internet. In today's Braducation, I answer the question, what happens when my temporary protected status expires? Let's watch. When your TPS expires, unfortunately, you go back to whatever position you were prior to you getting TPS. So if you were on a student visa and you got TPS, then presumably you would go back to student visa status. If you were on TPS and you were out of status when you got your TPS, then you would fall back out of status. If you were already previously ordered deported and you got TPS and TPS is over, you would go back to having an order of deportation and perhaps even a warrant out for your arrest. Every person who is on TPS should figure out what they're going to do once TPS expires and not wait for that time to happen. All right, you know what, and that's very apropos to what happened today. If you're on TPS with the Ninth Circuit, basically siding with Donald Trump, stopping the injunction on Trump ending TPS for Honduras, Sudan, Nicaragua, and El Salvador. If you did not get your immigration questions answered, we're going to get into our social media check-in in about 5 or 6 minutes from now. So stay tuned. Ask your question right now in the comment section on YouTube or Facebook, and we will try to answer it in our social media check-in. If you don't get any immigration questions answered, you could always follow me at Real Brad Bernstein. If you follow me at Real Brad Bernstein on Instagram, drop me a DM, and I'll try to answer your question there. Also, you can follow us at Brad Show Live. If you follow us at Brad Show Live on Instagram, you can't handle 2 hours of Brad and Yo-Yo and Vanessa. It's just way too much excitement and information for you. But you can do 2 minutes of Brad, Yo-Yo, and Vanessa. Well, then you should be following us at Brad Show Live, where you get the best 2 minutes of our show every day and all little other snackable bites. Yo-Yo,
that's a great way to put it.
You got anything you got to say? Thank you,
you guys
Vanessa.
can follow me at Elias TV on all social media platforms.
And you guys can find me at Vanessa.Contreras TV.
All right. And by the way, we're going to be back to get your social media check-ins. But in honor of today being the first day of Hispanic Heritage Month 2020, we are throwing it back to last year when Yo-Yo went to the Hispanic Heritage Family Day in Washington Heights in Upper Manhattan. Let's watch.
What's up, Brad Squad? This is Yonathan, Elias at the annual Hispanic Heritage Family Day in Washington Heights. Now, every year, Hispanic Heritage Month falls between September 15th and October 15th, coinciding with the independence days of 7 Latin American countries: Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, Mexico, and Chile. Now, you already know I'm going to take you within the festivities, introduce you to some of the family get-togethers, but most importantly, we're going to interview some of the vendors and the attendees, all right? Stay tuned for some fun. Salsa fun. Hey, whoo. Watch the hips, they don't lie. All right. Ooh, okay. As you can see, baby boy's got the moves too. So first of all, what's your name and where you from?
My name is Glenn Echevarria. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I'm a recreation specialist over here at J. Hood Wright Recreation Center here in uptown Manhattan. Nice. And we're just over here, trying to provide some programming for the community and to have some fun. Today we have Hispanic Heritage Day for families. We got some arts and crafts going over here on the side, basic salsa lessons. Right before that, we had some Zumba lessons by an instructor that comes over here on Saturdays as well. And we're gonna have a little music just in a little while too, so you have a chance to do some dance.
This is the annual Hispanic Heritage Family Day. Have you been before?
This is my first one here, and I knew, automatically I wanted to get out and, get some, music playing and everything, and try to get some of the members, involved. We have a lot of adults and seniors in this community, and, activities like dancing and movement. It's very important because we want to make sure that we keep our community thriving and healthy, and it's a way to keep myself in shape as well.
Of course.
And it's just important to show that there's something for the community to do.
All right, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Amazing. What's your name?
Michaela.
Michaela. Hi.
Say hi, Stella.
Oh, they are busy. So it is the Hispanic Heritage Family Day. Why is it important for events like this to happen? Cultural family events like this to happen in your neighborhood?
For me, it's important because their dad is Dominican, but he passed away. So for me, it's really it's a blessing because it's carrying on something that I can't necessarily do just by myself. And they have a lot of family on his side that are wonderful, and yeah, just having people together and keeping that part of them alive is really important to me personally.
Yeah. Why is it important, even if it's not your actual heritage, why is it important to instill that into your daughters and to keep that culture very strong in their life?
I think it just shows them inclusiveness and togetherness and community. Community is that. It's everybody in their little groups coming together, enjoying the park, enjoying each other, enjoying music. That's huge for me.
And I want to know, what's your immigration story?
I'm Polish. My dad immigrated from Poland when he was about 8 or 9 years old.
Wow.
Also Jewish. So my other side of the family, they were born here, but they are German Jewish.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. So do you feel like because they came to the States, you're able to now live your American dream?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, we don't think about it on a daily. We should, but we don't. But yeah, I wouldn't be if they were if they didn't make this trip. Yeah.
All right, I'm here with my favorite dancer because I saw you out there.
Thank you.
You were amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try.
Yeah. Oh, please. Are you excited about today's event? This is the Hispanic Heritage Family Day.
Yes, it is. It is a great thing for us, the Latin people that come to the park. The community needs those events. These events are awesome for them.
And is this your first one here?
No, I come every Saturday at 10 with Winsome. We do Zumba. We have been here for 5 years almost. So
why is it important for cultural events like this to happen?
Well, it gets us together and we learn about the programs that the New York City parks have. Enjoy the event.
Yeah. And I want to know, what's your immigration story? Where have you come from?
I came from Dominican Republic 22 years ago. I'm still here, so my roots are in Dominican Republic.
Yeah. All right. How you doing?
I'm all right.
All right. What's your name and where you from?
Parish, Cleveland. I'm from Harlem.
Okay. Awesome. So what are you guys doing here today?
We're putting together Hispanic Heritage Family Day. So, we're in Washington Heights. So, speaking Hispanic heritage up here. So
nice. So how has the arts and crafts been so far? It looks like a lot of kids are super excited about it.
Yeah, this has been the busiest thing going on besides this and the dancing lessons. So for the most part, it's been busy all day with the kids coming back and forth. So
why is it important for events like this, cultural events like this to happen? And not only that, why is it important for other cultures to come and participate?
Right. I mean, I just feel like it's big because everybody has their own thing that they celebrate. So me being Hispanic as well, and then you have others that have you have Jewish people who have their own thing, African American Day. So it's okay to celebrate everybody's own heritage.
So what's your immigration story?
I'm Panamanian, and I'm Costa Rican. So beyond that, I was born here, but my parents were born in Panama and Costa Rica. Beyond that, I'm Americanized, so
right.
But I celebrate Hispanic heritage.
Well, there you have it, Brad Squad. A day full of fun, family, and culture. This is why it's so important to have cultural events like this in the community, because it brings families together and it teaches you about your heritage. But not only that, you can bring other cultures in because we are all one. And I love covering events like this because it shows just that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Back to the studio.
All right, let's do something we like to call social media check-in. All right, what do we got, guys?
All right. Carrie Ann Scott on Facebook asked, how long do I have to wait to marry a U.S. citizen once I'm here in the U.S.?
90 days. I don't hear you, Vanessa.
That was me. Here we go.
Okay.
Victoria on Facebook asks, if my friend files for his wife's green card, will she then be immediately eligible to work in the U.S.?
If she adjusts her status, she can get a work permit in about 3 to 4 months.
Scott Grant on YouTube asks, can I file my N-400 with my I-751?
No, you can file your I-751, and then after you've been a conditional resident for 2 years, 9 months, and 3 days and can prove it's a bona fide marriage, then you can file your N-400. So that would be approximately 1 year after you file your I-751.
Navneet Singh on Facebook, what is the role of the National Benefit Center in regard to the priority date retrogression, and how will the cases be processed once dates become current again?
The role is they're a warehouse. They hold the file because there's not enough room in the local offices. Once the dates become current, they'll ship it back to the local office, and most likely you'll get another interview.
Dunstan Mulinga on Facebook asks, if my wife filed an I-130 for me and it was approved, can I file for an adjustment of status before I file for citizenship?